So we're at GameX in Stockholm, and we're stopping by the Square's little indie square, I think it's fair to say, and we're catching up with Kenth here, who's a programmer on a game called Cobots, and it's sort of, the name sort of gives away what it's all about, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does. It's cooperative robots, that's the key words here.
Yeah, and can you tell us a little bit where this project originated and sort of where you started at?
Oh yeah, sure. So during early this year, we were a group of people at the school now called Uppsala University, Campus Gotland, and we had a game project where we had to create a game from scratch for the Gotland Game Conference. So
sort of like a game jam almost.
Oh yeah, sort of, but more quality, let's say that. So yeah, so we started working, and after months of hard work and concepting and polishing and reiterating, it finally became what is now known as Cobots. And people liked it so much that we developed it further, and that's why we're here at GameX now and doing a lot of this stuff.
So I mean, it has some. It's sort of like it's just boiling down to the core essence of cooperation. Really, it's just you really have to communicate and sort of. But it seems like it's very sort of simple guidelines. Is that one of the design ideas there?
Yeah, the absolute initial thought we had when we first started out was that we wanted to make a game where true cooperation was the only key. So to speak, so you couldn't do anything by yourself. You had to cooperate by others, because nowadays a cooperative game is just, you play along with your friend.
You get twice the amount of bullets, right?
Yeah, exactly. But we wanted something more true to the cooperative experience.
So when you look at it, like, can you describe sort of what the puzzles are like and what you can expect from them and how these two little bots are tied together?
Yeah, so the two robots are tied together so that you cannot move too far away from each other. And with that...
Actually visualizing the tethering that's often in co-op games.
Exactly. So with that in mind, you have to really collaborate only to get somewhere in the first place. And from there on, it's a lot of... there's various puzzles, such as pressing buttons, specifically, and let's see, there's a lot of... you have to dodge stuff while the other player presses something in timing.
So the robots are tethered together, and there's a few puzzles to traverse. Can you tell us a little bit about how the puzzles are and sort of what kind of challenges you're up against?
Yeah, so the robots are tied together, so they can't move without collaborative between the players. And then you have to do stuff like pressing buttons to hold doors open for the other player while he moves certain objects into position, and so that the other player or both the players can advance together.
I think one of the things that struck me when I played it was that it's one of those games, like co-op games, you often have to communicate a lot, but this game was sort of like, it's almost a silent communication. You see what's on screen. It's enough what you see on screen to understand just maybe 1 or 2 seconds, and you realize what the other player wants you to do, even if you haven't done that puzzle before.
Yeah, so we have put a lot of effort into making sure that everything is as clear as possible, so that the only real obstacle left is just to figure out what to do together, instead of figuring out that thing actually does something and that thing doesn't do something and such things like that. So the only part where you need verbal communication is when something is unclear or you need to issue commands to each other.
And this started out as a student project, but you got sort of a, you're going to do you have done a commercial release, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. We started the sale in Monday, I think, just a few days now before the GameX, and because of the popular demand, we wanted a commercial release. And it's not with the economical value in mind. It's more like getting the game out so that people get to know more of it and have something to prove for our efforts.
I mean, it's nice for people to play it, even though, you know, you might say that, oh, it's just a student project, it's just something we did quickly or whatever. It's still nice to get that, because when you have an audience and you can sort of go back and forth with them, it's a different thing than just making a game and not having it out there.
Yeah, that's really it's really a new experience for all of us, because we have never done anything at this scale any time before. So it's real awesome.
So are you like, have you formed a team now, or do you will you move to work with other projects, or what? Is there a team that's going to continue together, or what's the future ahead?
Yeah, we are actually a team, and we try to hold together as much as possible. We're actually already planning our next game for our next school project. No concrete ideas yet, but we'll get there. And because we're a really good group together, because we have all these knowledgements and all that.
I think there are a lot of successful studios that actually start out as a group at an education, and then they move on and they start a studio and they go on to be successful. So that may be a very good way to sort of get started.
Yeah, there sure are, but we haven't really thought about that far. We plan to finish school first, and then we'll see where that takes us.
I think that's a wise road to take. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.